Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and with me in studio today is Victor Callender, and he wants to talk about Barbadians and what's happening there in light of me publishing the entire police report on what happened in Miami between Anthony Nelson and Tiffany Bourne. We're not talking about that, but we want to talk about that. Welcome into the studio, Victor.
Hey, good. Well, it's morning on my side of America, and it's afternoon on your side. So welcome in to all of you who listen to us. I suggest that you do. Sherry is provocative and evocative, and she brings a pleasant breath of air into any room where she is. And we want to talk about the culture of women being misogynized, being taken advantage of, whatever. There's certain parameters that we can't go outside of on talk radio, but the foregone conclusion is that it's okay to mistreat a Barbadian woman, and mostly at the hands of a Barbadian man like me or others. And I want to put Barbadian men on notice. It's not cool. You're not in the cool anymore. You are not your father's or grandfather's sons anymore when you do certain things. And I'm guilty of it. I'm a Barbadian man. So I've been cultured, trained in a way that was once permissible relative to the mistreatment of Barbadian women. Notice, knock, knock, it's no longer permissible. It's no longer permissible for people to turn their heads, turn away from what they know is an act of violence committed against a Barbadian girl, woman, daughter, granddaughter. It's just not permissible. And every time we sanction that behavior, Sherry, by saying, well, that's how he is or whatever, Barbadian women, you are the main responsible act for men being who they are from birth, from the womb to the tomb, because you sanction that behavior. You sanction it when you let a man misogynize you, when you let a man in a former slave colony
Exactly.
continuously misogynize you, when you go on Beijing Tube and other places and denigrate yourself and walk on the graves of your ancestors with the nastiness and the perversion of your behavior. I'm not trying to be moralistic here. I'm trying to tell you the footprints that you're leaving. And no one wants to talk about it because it's not politically expedient or socially expedient, right? No, I couldn't give a damn less. I could care less who hates what I'm saying, because guess what? I'm in the sunset of my life. So my legacy has to be a legacy of truth. When you have a man, a Barbadian man, whose ancestors lived and died in Barbados as a result of chattel slavery, treating Barbadian women with disdain and disrespect, what does that say to you, Barbadian women? What does it say to you, Barbadian men? Women, you created a Bajan man to abuse you, and you permit that to happen when you allow misogynistic behavior in your presence.
Agreed.
In 2024, you have the ability to create a culture of safety and harmony for your daughters and for your sons. We're going to have the Crop Over Festival come up this year. You mean to tell me that we've allowed Barbados to become so perverted that nothing goes beyond the imagination?
Nothing.
We allow our daughters and we allow our sons to be born in a place where the moral fiber of the country is so below zero, is so off the charts, that no longer is a Barbadian woman worth her self-respect. And you told me it's okay for a man to put his hands DV-wise on a woman. It's okay for a woman to do that. It's okay for our culture to be perverted, and no one says anything in public about it. We uphold the standard. If we are upholding the standard of perversion, of indecency, of stuff that is salacious and scurrilous, then who do we blame except ourselves?
Exactly. Because not only that, it's not that they allow it, they're actually pretend it doesn't happen. They will actually say, no, it didn't happen. Like, I put up the police report today. I'm not saying that anyone has said it to me, but I'm sure there's some people that will say, oh, that's from sometime else, and that's someone else, and she probably put the name. You don't understand the cognitive dissonance that I experience dealing with some people. It is real. I'm not fabricating. It is real. Okay, it's real.
When you allow a man to put his hands on you and physically abuse you, coupled with emotional abuse, it's the wrong relationship for you, Barbadian women, Barbadian men. It's the wrong relationship. It's a red flag. Period.
Yeah, they pretend it doesn't happen, Victor.
There's no justifying it.
Yeah, they pretend.
If you're a lawyer, Dr. Indian Chief, it's the wrong relationship.
They pretend it does not happen. They pretend it does not happen. They pretend slavery never happened. They don't even like to talk about slavery. It's
pure and simple. Maybe people like Dr. Hillary Beckles, maybe people like our Prime Minister, maybe the women in cabinet really need to raise their voices up. We need to have, like I said, judicial and legislative reform as it references the treatment of the Barbadian woman, the treatment of domestic relationships in Barbados. We have gone from the plantation, right? We've gone from the plantation to a place where now the acceptable level of mistreatment and misogynization of the Barbadian woman is still a slaveocracy. And I do not know why that continues to be, a situation that allows this behavior to manifest itself in the Barbadian DNA. It's part of the DNA strand for Barbadian women to espouse, whether to other Barbadian women or to whomever will listen in a safe space, that they're being mistreated, they're being misogynized, and it's going on generationally.
Yeah.
Generationally, the greatest generational misfitism is the fact that the Barbadian woman is misogynized on an international scale. People come to Barbados to watch my sisters, my family members, people that I respect and I hold in high esteem, skin themselves out. Is that the only product that Barbados can sell? We used to sell pride in industry. We used to sell our manufacturing sector, being able to create with our hands. Now we create nothing except indecency, and it's okay for everybody in Barbados. We call that quality, we call that content, we call that freedom of expression. There is no freedom when your mind is locked down and shackled to the tentacles of slavery. There is no freedom. It's wrong. If we cannot have pride in the Barbadian woman, then we will lose pride in the Barbadian family. Period. I'm in the sunset of my life. I have nothing but truth and love to give. Nothing. I have no money. I have no celebrity. I just want love for my people and respect for the women of Barbados, because I too have been guilty of disrespect of the Barbadian woman. And it's wrong. It's wrong. I just want right for my people. Is that too much to ask? Is it too much to love you, Barbados? Or do you not even know love when you see it? Do you not feel it when it's in your presence? The Barbadian men that make these salacious type videos that mistreat Barbadian women, are you not the sons of a woman? It's rhetorical. Do you not have mothers or aunties or sisters? Why? Why must we do to our women what was done to them in slavery? Why? We need to address these things in Parliament, legislatively and judicially. If you're a judge and you're beating on your wife, if you're a parliamentarian and you're beating on your wife or husband, why? Instead of people like Ronnie Yearwood having conversations about stuff that's really unimportant, why aren't we having conversations about these issues, the issues that's germane in this time? Are you still there, Sherry?
Yes,
Why?
I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Why? We need to bring some germane pertinence to the issue of women, child, elder abuse. Have the legislative and the judicial content to back up and solidify rapid changes that's needed in Barbados. The Barbadian man needs to come forward into the 21st century, and we need to stop this foolishness that was rampant in Barbados up until we became an independent country, and now beyond that.
Mm.
You want to talk about the survival of Barbados? There won't be a survival of Barbados without the Barbadian woman.
I agree.
Cannot.
I agree.
Cannot. Can never be the survival without the Barbadian woman. The Barbadian woman she's been the catalyst that's driven the pilot, the person at the wheel of the motor vehicle of life in this part of the world for 500 years. The Barbadian woman. The black Barbadian woman. Period. Go back and Dr. Hilary Beckles, if you're listening to this, tell me where I'm wrong. Mia Motley, Cynthia Bradshaw, Dale Marshall told me, I challenge you to tell me that I'm wrong. You have the ability, you have the thumb to place the imprint on the sands of time and change the way that Barbadian women are being treated. We should not be commoditizing miscreant behavior against the Barbadian woman. The breath, the person who has breathed the breath into Barbadian society, and we do it every single day. Everybody has done it. There needs to be a change. Mean to tell me that my generation of people, we're going to go to the friggin' grave and leave as our legacy, a legacy of disrespect to the Barbadian woman? Are we going to do that? I am asking this question today of right-thinking, decent Barbadian people. Are we going to do that? Are we satisfied that our brand in the 21st century, our brand is going to be a brand of disrespect to the Barbadian woman, the very person who has nurtured Barbados from its beginning to where Barbados is right now? And Barbadian women, are you going to continuously sell yourselves short to acts of perversion and disrespect and lack of self-esteem? Are you going to continue? Just questions to ask. You don't have to give me the answers. Internalize the answers for yourselves. But remember this, Barbados. You do what you believe. And if you didn't do it, just means you didn't believe in it enough. So if you believe in miscreant behavior, then it'll manifest in how you live and what you do.
Okay.
So I feel this day, I feel sad for my country that we can no longer have fun in Barbados that's decent. Every time you turn on something, it's kids fighting in school. It's some form of behavior itinerant to what slovenly or salacious. And that's what we hold up as a standard. Barbados has never been like that. Was it meant to be? Even as a slave colony. We got more respect with the colonial masters in place than we do now. And we don't have the colonial masters now, Sherry Veronica. They're long gone. They're long gone. What's the excuse now? That the colonial masters are not there. Did we learn too well from the colonial masters, from the reservationized plantocracy of our history? Did we learn too well from that? Now, are we personifying that which we learned? Are we that?
Yes. I would say yes. I would say whatever happened to black people during slavery has continued by the black people themselves. Yes.
So if I'm on this guy Victor that lives in Washington State, he's on this thing where he is. I am sick and tired of seeing my people being trivialized. Barbados has been pivotal in the development of the world. Not just Barbados, the world. We have people in Barbados, some of whom are listening right now. Brilliant, decent, hardworking people. But they have been overtaken by people who come with malice of forethought, who come to do Barbados no good. And that needs to be rooted out, it needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be solved. We need to be asking difficult questions in 2024. Not sitting on some proverbial wall somewhere trying to figure out what we need to figure out. No, ask questions if you want to know. Solve problems. We need problem solvers. People who can solve problems at family and at national level. 30 politicians sitting in parliament, get off your dead asses and do something. Do something, one of you. Unless you like the status quo, do something to make change. Stop appeasing or offering information that you think is going to be a soundbite and do something to solve the problems. Ronnie Yearwood, stop trying to be a leader and be one. Stop opposing everything that the Prime Minister does without solutions. Meet the Prime Minister halfway, Ronnie Yearwood. Meet her halfway. You want to be the leader of your party and eventually the leader of Barbados? Then lead. You worried about $7,500 for Santia Bradshaw when you got Donville Innes sitting in party meetings in the Democratic Labour Party as a convicted felon? How is that right? Hear yourself, Ronnie Yearwood, and have some political decency and not political expediency. Mia Motley, as it stands, is the best hope for Barbados. Cynthia Bradshaw isn't a bad little politician. You guys are criticizing the current government of Barbados as if you aren't Barbadians. If you know that there's crime in Barbados, meet with the Prime Minister. Come up with a solution that's not bent on political expedience. How about that novel idea? But you're too lazy or too stupid to figure that out in the Democratic Labour Party. The greatest threat to Barbadian democracy was the Democratic Labour Party. You fielded abysmally, woefully abysmal candidates. How about that, Ronnie Ewart? Now we are stuck in the idiocratic, a system of not having a bona fide opposition party, and you're going to blame the government for your idiocy? Wake up! In the 21st century, wake up! You want to change things, change from within. Change from within. There's no way that a convicted felon could be in my midst. He shouldn't even be getting a pension. He's a crook. A disgrace. But you want to talk about change. You want to talk about firing Cynthia Bradshaw. Hypocrites. Grow up. We need adult leadership. And so far, I'm going to be honest with you, the only adult I see in the room is Mia Motley. I disagree with her on some things, but not on all things. Some things. But relative to stability, I think the country is more stable now than it ever has been.
Mm.
She is the adult in the room, and she's making an effort. And until you can better that effort, don't criticize for the sake of criticizing. Be constructive in your criticism. I know you know where to find Mia Motley, Ronnie Ewart. She's just a telephone call away, just a car drive away. If you got some good ideas, go share them with her. If you are about Barbados. Now, if you're about ulterior motives, then do like you've been doing and see where that gets you. I mean, I'm just a regular guy sitting in Washington State. What the hell do I know, right? I don't have no fancy degrees or none of that. I'm not needed to be a decent human being, Ronnie Ewart. Stop the foolishness. The Barbadian people are suffering. They're suffering at the hands of people who have been a perennial threat to democracy. The Democratic Labour Party. Barrow is turning over in his grave. And you will still continuously field bad candidates. You know why? Because you guys are interested in power, not in reforming Barbados, not in making it better, not in making it better for its citizens. That's the difference between most of you and Mia Motley. Like her or not, she's all thing Barbados. Every single thing Barbados. She goes anywhere anyone stops her, all things Barbados. And I've been a critic. I've found ways to try to criticize her. Trust me. But you can't criticize success. Or you could if you're morally bankrupt.
Yeah, they would. Half of them, I think 50% of them would. So that's it?
That's it. I just want the country to be healthy.
Okay.
I want the country to be healthy. We've been unhealthy for so long, and sometimes not of our own doing, not of our own volition, but it's time for the country to be healthy. There's 3 stages of development for a human being. You either lead, you either follow, or you get the hell out of the way. I know that Mia is leading, and I know that the Democratic Labour Party is following. Maybe it's time for them to get the hell out of the way. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Talk to you soon. This is Sherry Veronica.
You're welcome.
Naked Departure Radio.